On to North Africa. Specifically, we're going to Tunisia to make their very famous harissa chili paste, which they use in all kinds of dishes. You can use it with lamb, with chicken, with fish, with veggies. It goes great with chickpeas. So we're going to make that now. There are as many harissa recipes as there are Tunisian grandmothers. So anyways, this is going to be my version. I've played with it a little bit. And the first thing I've got here is I'm toasting in this little pan. I'm toasting about a half a teaspoon of coriander seed, a teaspoon of caraway seed, and a teaspoon of cumin seed. And I'm starting to get the flavors from that, the odors from that. So pretty soon I'm going to grind that up. I also have here some garlic. This is about a tablespoon of garlic. And what I want to do is I want to turn it into a paste. So in order to do that, I'm going to crush it like so. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of a coarse salt. It's going to sort of act as a grinder, right? So I'm going to just kind of go like that, run it through the salt until I get this to be a nice paste, like that. See how there we go. And the salt just makes that and turns it into a paste. All right, that's good. So the next thing, this is now smelling perfect. Oh yeah. Okay, so these are nice and toasted. I'm going to put them in my little grinder here. This is just a regular, ordinary coffee grinder, by the way, which is a heck of a lot of a less expensive way to go about doing this than to go out and buy a specific spice grinder, what they call a spice grinder. So, Blade coffee grinder, I just do this. So I have my toasted and ground spices. Put those over here. See, very nicely ground up. Okay, now I have my blender in front of me here, and I'm going to start putting everything together. So the first thing I'm going to put in, I have a preserved lemon. Okay, and that's one of the reasons I used very little salt to make the garlic paste, because preserved lemon is preserved in salt. So, I don't want to have too much salt in this. I'm going to put in now, this is 3 ounces of dried anchovies that I soaked and seeded. All right, stuff that in there. Let us spice it up a little bit. I have 10 chili de arbol. I have a red pepper that I roasted and peeled and seeded. Then I'm going to put these ground spices that I ground. I'm going to stick those in there now. And of course my pasted up garlic right there. And then one of the things I like to add is pimenton. So here's a teaspoon of pimenton. Pimenton is Spanish smoked paprika. Okay, I'm going to start now. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in just to get it started. And I will put the top of my blender on. Okay, and we will start to blend this. Now, what I'm aiming for is a nice thick paste, so I'm initially going to get it ground, get it nice and thin, and then obviously now what I'll be doing to get the consistency I want is continuing to add olive oil until I get this thick paste. So you see it kind of, right now it doesn't want to completely mix, so that tells me it's a little bit too thick. So I want to add more olive oil until it reaches the consistency where in the blender it will continue to move through the blade. So you'll see it's still a little bit too thick, but we're close, I can tell. And there we go. See, now it's mixing through the blade. It's not getting hung up. It's not so thick that the blade pushes it away. So, that's it. I now have some harissa. As I said, this is the Tunisian chili paste. Looks like that. Give it a taste. It's good. So like I said, you can use it for a lot of different things. It keeps very well. What you want to do though is you want to store it in a glass jar and with a thin layer of olive oil over the top. Very thin layer so you get it flat, a little thin layer on the top. When you use it up, use it, push it back down again, put a little thin layer of oil on top. And so there you have it, folks. One of the most regularly used ingredients, one of the most famous ingredients of Tunisian cooking, harissa.